Welcome. Today I'm going to show you how to repair your valve that's been leaking because the possibility it got frozen and it's expanded and split the actual housing. We can actually weld that. So let's get to it. So basically what I've got here, I've got a soldering iron. The soldering iron will melt the plastic. I've got a piece of additional plastic. This is just a piece of scrap of, well, it's actually come off my motorhome actually, part of the skirting's going inside motorhomes because I've made some alterations. But it's a thermoplastic, and most plastics, like for instance blister packs and stuff like that, are thermoplastic. You could use them as well. Now, I could possibly be able to repair this using just the plastic that is around the area of the split, but I feel it needs a little bit additional help, or a bit more plastic to actually fill the space. So I'm going to use some of this plastic from this trim, and all I'm doing is melting that into the plastic of the valve. Now this is actually quite a common fault with these things. People keep their pressure washers in their sheds and what have you. Need to say there's no heat in the shed, and anything in there that contains any water whatsoever will freeze. And if something freezes, what happens? It expands, and when it expands, it will push outwards as it expands, and it's very, very forceful. It's a bit like the mother-in-law. So frankly, what you have to do is, obviously it's got to be able to be defrosted first, in the sense you don't obviously want to be trying to do this repair when it's got a block of ice inside it. Let it defrost first, and then you want to fill that damage, or that split, or that crack, with more plastic to basically fill the void and weld it in together. So you don't want it to sit on the top, so you have to make sure you're kind of stirring it into the existing, so you're like mixing it into the existing plastic, and all they were doing is increasing the thickness in that area over the top of the area which is actually leaking. So okay, I'm going to keep adding that into there until I'm happy and I'm satisfied that it's actually going to do the job. It might not. I might have to do it a few times. I might have to keep adding to it until it is 100% fixed. But I don't need to worry too much. I just keep adding and adding and adding until I'm happy that the actual thing is repaired. Right, so we're melting that into each other, and effectively just stirring it into itself as well. See, the grey in this case and the blue becomes just a lighter blue, or a grey blue colour instead of this petrol blue. So melting that into there like so. The whole point is you're kind of creating a plaster that's almost as one with the plastic of the actual valve as well. So I'm not trying to just stick it on the top like a plaster. I'm trying to weld it in together so it all becomes as one single unit, and that way it should hold. Hopefully, we'll test it in a minute. Yeah, that's all pouring out here like a mad thing. Now this little trick here, this still just happens to, this is a lavor, which is well, we bought it in France, so I'm not sure if it's available abroad. Probably is. Maybe it's badged as something different. But it's quite a common pressure washer. Not quite as common as Karcher. Karcher's been around for a very long time. But it isn't a bad little machine for the money. It was very cheap. It cost about 100 quid. You know, for 120 odd PSI pressure washer. I think that's right. I might be wrong. So what I've done, I've created almost like this molten mass on top of the area and into the area where it was leaking from. It was literally spraying out like a thin slit and spraying straight out of it. And needless to say, that isn't very helpful. I think that looks quite good. Maybe a little bit more work just here, I think. So I'm sort of reinforcing it at the same time. It's quite good. Right, I might add a little bit more plastic into here. How much time have I got? I've done 4.5 minutes. I'm not editing this video, see, so It's real. I'm not trying to pull the wool over your eyes. Now, I've already tried to do this repair once already, and I failed miserably. It leaked badly, just almost as bad as it was before. As it was before. So I'm hoping that this time, with the additional plastic, because last time all I did was did a bit of melting here and there just to hopefully fix it. That didn't work. I'm hoping that this time it will work. The only thing is, I just remembered I haven't demonstrated it before. I've got the other video, so I could do, I suppose. I could add it in, but I didn't want to edit. The problem is when you edit a video like this, you could be lying. You know, I could be showing you stuff and then editing it to suit my own agenda, and then it becomes dishonest. So I'm trying to be honest, basically, and so you end up with a little demonstration video or something, real time, as I actually did the job. And you end up with something that maybe is a little bit rough around the edges regarding the video itself, but it gives you the information that you can trust and believe in. That's kind of my point. You can't, you know, if you feel that I'm sort of like trying to pull the wool over your eyes, it's not very helpful, is it? Right, I'm nearly there. I'm just going to just tidy this bit of hair up, make sure it's welded in and it's bonded to the existing plastic. Not just hovering on the top. We do that by constantly wiggling it about and sort of mixing it together. Then you can then flush the top off a little bit as well. Right. Hopefully that is going to, that would have done the trick. I'm hoping, very much hoping, and it should have, to be honest. Right, let's see. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this outside. I'm going to plug just the valve. You know, the valve does sit in this clamshell arrangement here generally, with the trunk and the valve, which goes in here, just like that. But I'm going to just take the valve just so you can just see the area that is actually potentially fixed. Hopefully it's not going to leak again. So anyway, let's go out there and have a look. I might look like a bit of ghost in a second because my camera's set for indoor use, and quite frankly it's going to be bright out here even though we are in autumn. It'll be right in a second, bear with me. There you go. So I'm going to plonk that over here and I'm going to try and quickly do a little demonstration of that working, because here's the pressure washer down there, here's the end of the pressure washer, and that plugs into this. You push the button in, normally on the hat, obviously in the handset or the trigger or the gun, whatever they call it, and then that would then normally be spouting out there, and that bit on there would be pressed regarding the actual when you squeeze the trigger in, that pushes that down on the top there, and then that comes out. So let's turn the water on. Let's hopefully, touch wood, wish me luck,